Snow fell softly over the small Midwestern town of Pine Hollow, the kind of town that looked like it had been pulled straight out of a Christmas postcard. White lights wrapped around lampposts, red bows hung from shop windows, and the smell of pine and cinnamon floated through the cold air. The town's only grocery store, Evergreen Market, glowed warmly against the darkness, its windows fogged from heaters working overtime. Inside, Christmas music played on low volume, the cheerful notes echoing faintly through aisles stacked with canned soups, frozen turkeys, and boxes of holiday cookies. It was December 24th, just a few hours before midnight, and Evergreen Market was supposed to close early so employees could go home to their families. But something about that night felt wrong. Megan Turner tightened her green store apron and glanced at the wall clock above the dairy section. 9:17 p.m. Just 43 minutes left. Her breath fogged slightly every time she sighed, not from the cold but from exhaustion. She had worked a double shift because 2 employees had called in sick. Christmas Eve always brought strange energy, people rushing, tempers flaring, loneliness hiding behind smiles. Megan felt it every year, but tonight it felt heavier, like the air itself was pressing down on her chest. She pushed the cart back into its place and noticed how quiet the store had become. Only 5 customers remained. An elderly couple debating over cranberry sauce. A tired mother with a crying toddler. A man in a black coat standing near the frozen food aisle, completely still. Megan frowned. The man hadn't moved in over 10 minutes. He was tall, his face partially hidden under a woolen beanie pulled low. His coat looked old, worn at the edges, like it had seen many winters. He didn't have a cart or basket. He just stood there, staring at the freezer doors as if waiting for something to appear inside the frost. Megan shook off the unease. Probably just another lonely soul, she muttered. Christmas had a way of magnifying loneliness. At the front counter, David Morales, the assistant manager, yawned and stretched. He was in his late 30s, divorced, and working Christmas Eve by choice. Going home to an empty apartment felt worse than staying busy. He flipped through receipts, humming along to a distorted version of Silent Night coming from the store speakers. The automatic doors slid open suddenly, letting in a blast of icy air. Another customer entered. This one caught Megan's attention immediately. The woman wore a red scarf wrapped tightly around her neck and carried a large brown handbag clutched to her chest. Her eyes darted around the store, sharp and nervous, like a hunted animal. She didn't grab a card. She didn't greet anyone. She walked straight toward the back of the store. Megan's stomach tightened. 2 customers, both behaving strangely on the same quiet night. She told herself she was imagining things. The mother checked out and left, dragging her screaming child behind her. The elderly couple slowly made their way toward the registers. That left only the man in black, the woman with the red scarf, and Megan moving through the aisles, restocking candy canes near the seasonal display. That was when the lights flickered, just for a second. The Christmas music crackled and cut out before returning, slightly louder than before. David looked up sharply. "Power better not go out tonight," he muttered. From the frozen aisle, the man in black finally moved. He walked toward the meat section. The woman with the red scarf stopped near the cleaning supplies aisle and glanced behind her. Her breathing quickened. She opened her bag just enough to peek inside, then closed it again, her hands trembling. Megan noticed. Her heart began to race. She took a cautious step closer. "Mom, can I help you find something?" The woman flinched as if struck. "No," she whispered too quickly. "I'm Fina." Her voice shook. Megan opened her mouth to say more when a loud metallic clang echoed through the store. The sound came from the back. David froze. Megan's blood turned cold. The elderly couple looked at each other, confused. "What was that?" the old man asked. Before anyone could answer, the lights went out completely. Darkness swallowed the store. A scream pierced the air. Not a frightened scream, a dying one. The emergency lights kicked in seconds later, bathing the aisles in dim red glow. Shadows stretched unnaturally along the walls. The Christmas music stopped entirely. "Call 911, Megan shouted, her voice shaking. David grabbed the phone behind the counter, his fingers fumbling, but the line was dead. Another scream echoed, this one closer. The elderly woman collapsed near the register, clutching her chest. Her husband screamed her name, shaking her desperately. Megan ran toward them, her mind screaming that this was all wrong, that this wasn't real. Then she saw it. Blood. A dark trail leading from the meat section toward the back storage room. Thick. Fresh. David swallowed hard. Stay here, he whispered, grabbing a flashlight from under the counter. Megan wanted to stop him. She didn't. That decision would haunt her forever. David moved cautiously, his footsteps echoing loudly in the silence. The red emergency lights flickered again. He reached the corner of the meat section and stopped. His flashlight beam shook as it illuminated the floor. The butcher, Frank Holloway, lay sprawled near the freezer doors, his throat slashed so deeply Megan could see bone from where she stood. Blood coated the tiles, still steaming slightly in the cold air. David staggered back, gagging. Then a voice spoke from behind him. Christmas is about giving. The man in the black coat stepped into the light. He held a blood-stained knife. David barely had time to turn before the blade plunged into his stomach. Megan screamed as David collapsed, gasping, blood pouring through his fingers. The woman with the red scarf ran. She sprinted toward the exit, slipping on the bloody floor. The automatic doors didn't open. Power lock. Her face twisted in terror. The man in black turned his attention toward her. No, she cried. Please, I didn't mean to. He tilted his head. You always mean to. He lunged. Megan grabbed a fire extinguisher and smashed it against a shelf, the clang echoing through the store. She sprayed blindly, white foam filling the air. The man stumbled back, coughing. The woman with the red scarf disappeared behind the aisles. Megan ran to David, pressing her hands against his wound. Stay with me, please. His eyes glazed over. Megan, he whispered. He's been watching us for weeks. His head fell to the side. David was dead. Something inside Megan snapped. She stood, shaking, and backed away slowly, her eyes scanning the shadows. A soft laugh echoed through the store. Everyone has secrets, the man said calmly. This town just hides them better during Christmas. The woman screamed again from the storage room. Megan ran. She found the woman pinned against shelves of canned goods, the knife pressed against her throat. Stop, Megan shouted. The man smiled. You know what she did? He asked gently. She drove drunk last Christmas, killed a family on the highway, ran, never looked back. The woman sobbed uncontrollably. I was scared. So was my sister, the man replied, his voice flat. Megan's heart dropped. He pushed the knife forward. The scream cut short. Blood splattered the cans like grotesque ornaments. The man turned toward Megan. You don't belong here, he said. You still believe Christmas means something. He stepped past her and walked toward the exit. The lights flickered back on. The doors unlocked. He was gone. Police arrived 20 minutes later to a nightmare painted in red and green. 2 employees dead. 1 customer murdered, sitting on the floor, covered in blood, staring at nothing. They never caught him. But every Christmas Eve, Evergreen Market closes early. And sometimes, when the lights flicker and the music crackles, employees swear they see a man in a black coat standing near the frozen aisle, waiting. Because some gifts aren't wrapped, they're delivered, and once opened, they can never be taken back.